Hello, this is Wolf Outdoor Review. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the R.A.C.K leg bag with attaching strap by Specialty Defense Systems. There's all the information about it. This is a pouch that was issued along with the R.A.C.K system, which is kind of this bib apron looking thing. It's essentially your plate carrier type thing, but it goes around your stomach and up your chest. So it fits on forward versus a FLC, which sits on the side of your body and kind of top. So it's a different style to carry your equipment, but this is one of the items that it came with. I purchased this separately. And so yeah, we'll be going over that. It comes with a few things. It comes with this. So if you do intend to buy this on your own, make sure it comes with this. This is the secondary part, which doesn't have a thing on it, like a label anywhere, so it'd be hard to say what it's for if you don't know what you're looking for. It might have came with one originally. There seems to be a lot of missing, maybe. So, but there's that. All right. So we'll go over the front, back, and sides, and I'll give you measurements and all that. All right. So starting off, we've got this. This is it's got a forward buckle, and I'm going to cut that off real quick with this Leatherman Raptor shears. This is also in a review later on my channel if you want to know more about these awesome shears. Sorry for the thing, but these are folding shears that you can use with like multiple functions. You can cut rings off, you can open oxygen bottles, cut seat belts, all sorts of stuff. So these are cool. I recommend you check out my review on them. These are Leatherman Raptor shears. And so, yeah, my channel has a review about them. So, we'll cut this piece of plastic off. That was the original price tag thing. I think I paid $20 for this. But anyway, yeah, so you got this. It's got a front flap. Inside, it's got this storm collar. So you can cinch it down depending on what you intend to throw in there. If you're throwing pistol mags in there, you wouldn't need that much space in some cases, so you could cinch it down to whatever your needs are. Or if you're in an area where it's probably better to stay cinched down, and then you can force your fingers in and widen it. So if you go upside down or whatever, so everything doesn't fall out. So there's that. See here, that's what the inside looks like. It's got a stiffener on the back wall, it's got a draining grommet, and it's pretty clean on the inside. It's, I believe, double-walled, based on my expertise, which normally Molly has like some thing in it. It's like the back is just green, but this has the camo on the inside as well, so this is double-walled, which is different than sustainment pouches. So as you can see, I can move both pieces. So there's that. Yeah. It's got the same thing as the 3-day assault packs, if you know what those are. So essentially, it's got a piece of plastic on the inside, or maybe a combination of plastic, rubber, whatever. But the point is this is like a clipboard. See? Hear that? So the whole thing is plastic, so it's got like a rigid part, so when it's against your leg, it helps to ease an entry and exits of stuff. So even if it's not filled, you still have that supported, because if not, something tells me it would end up like that, like crammed up on your leg. This keeps the shape of it when it's empty. So overall, it's a really nice thing. It's got D-rings, so you could take off the leg things and make it like a knapsack if you wanted to, which I would think that'd be cool. Although, you would have to deal with this long piece. If you decide to take off the leg things, that's possible. But you'd have to deal with this strap, but that wouldn't be too hard. So this could be modified along with being a leg thing. You could probably modify this to being a chest rig. If you have a bunch of spare webbing, you could make bino holders or a small backpack. with that, you could modify this. Sky's the limits. You could help put like a rigger belt through there. Yeah, make a small backpack. I think that would probably fit a pair of military belts. I'm wearing one here. We'll see. This is your standard military belt. This is the OCP version. Yeah. It's like if you bend it in half, you may be able to get it, sneak it in there. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't look like it, but I don't know. So maybe a smaller belt than military riggers, so that wouldn't really work there if you wanted like just that on your hip. So it won't work with the standard military belt, but it should come with these. I've looked on eBay before I bought this. I bought this locally, I forget where, but sometimes they don't come with both of these, and you may think, oh, this doesn't fit my leg, but you can adjust these up and down depending on how thick your leg is, where you want it situated. So there's that. Right, moving on to the bottom, you've got a drainage hole, and it's pretty well built because it's got like these pockets here. This isn't anything you can put stuff in, but it's all tapered in a way that promotes it to expand when it's empty. It just naturally wants to stay open, which is nice. So yeah, we went over the snow collar, which is nice because you could put a first aid kit in here. You could have like a car bailout bag, whatever. They make these in DCU and Woodland, and you can see them on eBay for around $60. The DCU's maybe $40 range, since DCU's not that popular, but they also come in this style and tan buckle. Yeah, and you want to make sure you get all the parts in it, so you shouldn't have any issues with any of this. The things that would be missing are the leg straps, and you can always make your own out of something, like, I don't know, a belt or whatever, so that's not necessarily the end of the world. I did see one in this exact type on eBay for $25 a few years ago. I was going to buy it then because I thought this was a cool idea, but it didn't have this, and you can not for the life of you find any extras of these, so you'd have to build your own or completely swap out the buckle system. And that's another thing to be concerned about, is this buckle might not be there at all like that. And I always thought that you could like duct tape or electrical tape that, or put on your own new buckle, but I don't know. I think this is a standard size. Where's my tape measure? There it is. All right. I'm gonna lower the camera, pause the video, and be back. All right, I'm back, and here's the buckle again. So, if you were to go this route, here's it's a National Molding buckle, which just your standard whatever. So it's your standard 2 1/4, maybe. If you're looking at webbing, it's not exactly, but I'd assume it's 2-inch webbing. So you'd go for, I guess, a 2-inch buckle. So that's what this fits, because it doesn't matter about this part. You could theoretically model this where you just use a piece of leather and buy one of these replacement buckles somewhere. So you'd want a 2-inch buckle if you do have one that's broken. But yeah, and then you could take a piece of leather and make your own belt loop, because not everyone's going to use this. I don't really like this, because if you are wearing this on FLC, that's just kind of annoying. So this seems to me to be like a range day thing. You could throw your pistol on a drop leg on one side and this on the other. That way when you're doing range stuff, you can dump everything, speed loaders, whatever in there. And since it's got that stiffened back, you could grab it quickly if you're doing like some sort of shooting class or whatever. And so there's that. Like I said, there's no real number on this to give you anything to buy this. So you just have to hope this comes with it, or you could buy a 2-inch buckle and do it yourself. Which something I recommend when you put this back together is that you make it face away, or yeah, you don't go forward like you would think. Like you would think the buckle's facing the way you'd want it, like that. But that means that this strap's just going to bounce everywhere. So what I like to do is turn the buckle around, which isn't really intuitive, because that way you can thread it backwards. And so you could theoretically do a buckle upside down. So you can cinch it down all the way so it rides as high as possible. And while you're doing that, you can then put it through these leg straps and keep it out of the way, or whatever, roll it up and tape it or whatever, if you don't adjust it that often. And since that's not going to work, you can just reverse the buckle like that. I don't know if that's how it's meant to be, but if otherwise, that strap would be flopping around on the top. So that's the leg part, so don't mind that, but yeah, it would just be flopping there. So there's that. You could also have this nice piece here, which this is hollow, I believe. Yeah, it's hollow. So you could put a piece of paracord through there if you need to loop something into there. I don't know if you would be stupid enough or whatever to put a gun in here, like a Beretta or whatever. And then you could loop your retrieval lanyard that holds the gun in, and then just throw it in there. But I'm thinking more realistically, if you have a flashlight or whatever, you could even probably get away with maybe doing it in here, like a carabiner there, and then in there, and then you could have split a piece of 5.56 cord in half, and then you have all those 10 strands within it, and then tie them off to individual items. That way everything's secure, kind of like the Air Force's survival kits. They all have everything secured to itself. In case you drop it, it dangles. But yeah, there's not really much you can do in here, though. And it's kind of hard to turn inside out, unfortunately, but as you can see there, it's pretty nice in there. There's no real fraying like a lot of the pouches I've had to work on. You could obviously hit this with a lighter, like that video I said earlier. If you haven't checked that out, essentially I have a tip that you can do. If you have any of these pouches in any color, any whatever, you can actually double the life or triple the life of it if you hit this with a lighter in a specific way, all this fuzz. Because theoretically, if you rub anything like a knife, a compass up against here, it may eventually fray and rip the buckle off. So by hitting it with a lighter and pushing down, you essentially bond the thread, which is plastic base, and this, which is plastic base as well, together, and they're fused, and it doubles the life of your pouches, which there's a video on my channel about that. So you can see there's that. We went over the buckles and stuff, and I'll measure this while we're here. So that's looking like 1.5 inch swebbing. So if you're looking exactly, I would say you would be good at 1 5/8, just to be safe. For this hole, if you wanted to measure your belt, make sure it fit. Like I said, you can buy these junk ones that are a little weathered and whatever with missing hardware. These are supposedly worthless if they're missing hardware, but as we know with the D-rings, you can make a really nice bird watching bag, or these are the size of sustainment pouches, which I'll be back and I'll give you a reference of that real quick. Alright, I'm back. So sorry for the longer videos on these. I just want to go over everything, and you can always hold down on the right side of the video and it'll double time it. So yeah, but here is the standard sustainment pouch, same type of D-rings. So you could theoretically, if you don't want this, you could do the same thing. I put this on a belt as a dump pouch, which there's always that option, and I'll be going over these pouches a little bit later. But yeah, so there's your sustainment. This is what I mean by there's kind of woodland, but that's singles layer of material, which is kind of flimsy, and it doesn't have a snow collar. It just has one. The buckles are smaller as well, and they are different manufacturer. These are ITW Nexus Vastex. You're looking at 1-inch webbing versus, I think it was 1/2 inch. So 1-inch buckles. So there's that. There's no molly on here, except maybe on the back, or well, but that's a separate entity. But so this is what you would find on your rucksacks, 3-day assaults, whatever. So it doesn't have that stiffener on the back. So if you did decide to modify this to be a leg thing, you could take a strap and put it here and make a rudimentary version. But this doesn't have the snow collar, it doesn't have a big buckle, and these are kind of hard to get out in a hurry. So, I don't know. Size-wise, we'll go over all that in a minute, but, so they're similar, but, moving on. So, something you might want to be worried about is this. If you pull hard enough, this barrel lock will come off. If you do own one of these or decide to buy one, you might want to, put something in here, like a carabiner or whatever, anything. Like, hell, you could modify, one of those little craft beads or something so that it doesn't fly off, because if you're quick, it'll fall out. See, normally they have something around here to prevent that. So, there's that. And, so, and this is singles. That's the single fabric, and then it goes double, single, double back up here to make the tunnel. So there's that. The lid is same as that one, single, so you're not going to get much waterproof there, but if you wanted to, you could put some Flex Seal on the top and make it even more waterproof and rigid. Like I said, hit this with a lighter to double the thing. In case you didn't get a good look, there's what you're looking for if you want to buy this. I believe that PN might be different and patent might be different depending on the models and stuff, but I think the name would be the same because it doesn't say Woodland or whatever. So, and then there's I think it might have had different contractors. Another difference is I believe someone mentioned when I was looking into these to see if there's videos online about them. This says U.S. military for U.S., so this is considered a contractor build. They're similar, but this is more like non-USGI. It's more like specialty orders for elite groups or whatever. So I don't know why they don't have US on here. I would think they would, but I don't know. All right, moving on. You have this, and you could theoretically remove the buckle here and technically up here if you wanted to. But you'd have problems retrofitting it with anything else. Although you could put something else on, like a magnet or I don't know. But so there's that. This doesn't adjust. The only adjustment is down here, and that kind of closes it up. And it doesn't do a very good job of enveloping what you have in it. You'd have to intentionally pull down these and kind of coax the lid over it if it's not full to the brim. And I'll be right back, and I will fill it. Alright, I'm back. I threw in some random sheets and blankets and stuff I've got lying around, so yeah, there's it full. As you can see, it's not uniform, so you'll have some random wrinkles, and the lid is kind of hard. You have to, intentionally pull down. It's not like one of those, I don't know, other things. Certain saw pouches just fold down. These don't have stiffeners on the side, so you have to intentionally make it fit. But yeah, that would be it from the side. With the stiffener, it would sit against your leg, which you'd have to tighten down. I forgot to mention there's a benefit to these is they have these keepers here, so you can roll this up, although if you're adjusting or taking it on and off, you could change your size based on if you eat, if you have gear in your pocket. So I'd think keeping them mobile and then just sticking the loose ends if you have room. Like, you can adjust where you want this. Like, you could pull this to where, you know, either you have the buckle closer to there, then this part is elastic, so that's your give. If you do have a reasonable leg diameter, you can. It'll give you some give so that it's taut against your leg. And like I said, that's nice because that can go under here, under these two, and you can adjust this without taking stuff out by pulling, and then there. And then you can make sure if you do put it on, you pull those tight before you do your leg adjustments. And then when it's on, it would be like that, like so. And then, yeah. And I might have done this wrong. Or, no, I didn't actually. Yeah, this is upper thigh. So if you have the longer one, it's upper, because that's the fatter part of your hip, and then lower is kind of your calf. So you'd want it to be like that. And they have it. I think you could theoretically adjust them both. And I honestly might have them wrong. But as you can see, you could be enormous, and you still have enough play. Like, that's. We'll go over measurements from length. If you're pulling them taut, you've got about 13.5 inches worth of play when it's taut flat like that, from one loop to the other. So, yeah, got that. And you got your drainage hole I was mentioning. You put stuff here if you need, like a pace count beads or, a glow stick, whatever. I wouldn't recommend putting a firearm lower than this. This would probably be your non-dominant leg. And yeah, I think you could fit an entire first aid kit in here. Your, Israeli bandages, your splints, whatever. This seems like an entire, squad first aid kit size. So, if you're one of those outdoorsy people, this is probably pretty good for that. I'd also think this would be useful for a bike panner bag. This seems like something you could modify to hold on the side of a bike, or what's really nice, I would think, is if you just buy this junky version of this, you could probably put it around the back headrest of your car and have a trash bag or whatever. I know a lot of people bug out their vehicles. They even make ACU Molly vehicle panels, which are essentially that. They're just they're these tapestry pieces. They look like whoobies. They've got 4 tie-ons on each thing, and you can tie them around vehicles. And I don't know. I just look up Molly vehicle panel USGI, and you'll see them online. That's just something I recommend to people. And then, yeah, you've got this. You could put a GP sling on it, and you could probably, get rid of everything else you'd have this strap to deal with, but you could probably tuck that, if you took all this off, tuck it in here or something. But you could theoretically take it all off and make this a general purpose pouch. You might have to deal with, it flipping around on you, but I think for the most part, you'd have a pretty cool GP pouch. And the snow collar's a bonus, because, like I said, this doesn't have it. This flimsy, that one you can't fold more than half, a little bit. So, yeah. Yeah, and then size problem-wise, you'd only have to worry about something that small, so I wouldn't throw, nails or anything in here, because they'll fall out. But, for the most part, everything you put in here will stay in here. You could throw probably some 9mm ammunition in there or something. I would think that it wouldn't go through there. So yeah, there's that. This is a pretty quick release. And then you could throw it up. Yeah, just a blanket in here. Here's what the snow collar looks like. And this is kind of hard to cinch down. It just doesn't want to, but it will eventually, so you gotta be careful not to ruin the elasticity. But then, like I said, if it is like this, you can widen it with your hands if you're going in there but you might go upside down or whatever if you're airborne or whatever. So you can modify the width, this, depending on your needs. Now we'll go over some measurements. We'll start out with, and sorry if these are a little bit off. We'll go off as best as I can. It looks like you're looking at exactly 10 inches in height with the stiffener part, so we'll just go off that. Width is approximate because unless I threw a specific size shoebox in here, there would be no way to tell the exact depth or width of it, so I would say roughly 6 inches. Seems fair at its widest. And then we went over depth, width, and then length this way. You are looking at, with just the stiffener part, you're looking at about 7 1/4, I'm thinking. So there's your 3D measurements. And yeah. And then you've got this is 3 rows of Molly, just because I'm nice and I'll go based on, I'll give you an accurate, that's about 7 inches there by 2 inches, so that gives you an idea of how much Molly space it takes up. And on the back, you would theoretically be taking up 1, 2, 3 Molly spaces, or you could drop it down even more and only need 2. Then these are a little annoying though, because they aren't wrapped around there, so those are kind of itchy if you don't be careful. But I think you would be able to put, like, if you do throw this on an FLC, you could hide half of a mag pouch on one, and then on the plate carrier or whatever it's on there. So I think this doesn't count as a pouch, so you could put stuff on top of it relatively easy and it would be invisible. The only problem is taking it off, because you kind of need this for it to work, so you better make sure you want this part on what you want it on. Otherwise you'll have to take it off to replace it. So this might be its own pouch if you think about it. Or you could put like chems lights, Sharpies, that's what I do for these type of little things. Or, whatever, a small knife, like a folding knife in here. So there's that. We went over the buckle size and all that. Your snow cord is approximately 2 3/4 size snow color. And then just again from there to the bottom is about 10 inches. So there's your measurements. You've got 1.5 inch webbing, and you've got a 4-inch piece of elasticity. And just we'll take that off. And just for the top one anyway, just to prove how inclusive it is, you're looking at about 31.5 feet of webbing here. So this will fit most people, regardless of size. So there's that. Then to put it back on, yeah, you'd go over there and then like that. Okay. I'm going to pause the video and adjust the camera angle and put it on, and then we'll do a final wrap up. All right, we're back. And here's what it would look like. Obviously, this would be higher up on your FLC, but it's got pretty good there. It's got pretty good attachment, and if it's on FLC, there's nowhere for it to go down because you're wearing an actual vest. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. And you can access what you need. Closing it up is a little difficult, but yeah, you could do that quickly two-handed. And if you take a knee, you've got access to everything there. And I forgot to mention, you can add the buckles on the front side or the back side. So all you would do is change the direction you insert the strap. So that could be detached there or on the back. And then, yeah, you could do that quick and dump it if you're in a river or whatever. The reason I have mine set up like this is I had it on the opposite leg at a previous time. So you can change which leg you want it on. It doesn't matter. You just adjust the straps differently, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, overall it's pretty nice. And you still have plenty of room for whatever, you know. You could still fit maybe some sort of like K-bar or whatever up here. And yeah, you could still access your pockets reasonably, as you can see. Yeah, still access your D-rings, and you could probably put pace counter beads on there, compass here, and then put it in your pocket. So this could be whatever paracord tied off to whatever equipment you have as well. And then, like I said earlier, you can supposedly quick dump if you're doing a quick chase and you don't care about it in your mission or whatever. And so yeah, I'll pause the video and we'll do our final thoughts. Alright, I'm back. So you just saw it on my leg. Yeah, and like I said, I'd hit all this with some lighter, so there's a video out there on how to do that. Also, I guess I'll take that off while I'm thinking of it and give you a depth, in case you're wondering how much room you have to go down if you want to measure your leg, and give you an idea. Looks like you're at about 12 3/4 on mine anyway, and this might be not the same, but yeah, 12 3/4 inches for mine. And you wouldn't have that, obviously, because you need just some. So we'll go off of what you're realistically going to be using. Because for me, I think you need about that much, so you have a good purchase amount. So with the buckle, which is probably how you would be doing it anyway, you're looking at about 10.5 inches of usable stuff, giving that you have the buckle secured appropriately. So you can kind of drop this pretty low, but at the same time, you run the risk of bouncing too much, and if you're trying to chase someone, you, like I said, dump this quickly or whatever. But, you know, it's probably better to keep it up higher. So there's that. Like I said, you have plenty of room to adjust this, and you've got 10 inches, like I said. And one more time, for those of you, this is 1.5 inch webbing holes here. So if you have a belt that's 1.5 inches, it will fit in this. So you can make this a dump pouch style. And this is official U.S. military, so it's that, I think, 500 Cordura nylon. So really nice quality. It's got elastic keepers, and overall it's pretty solid buy. And like I said, sorry again for how long the video is. I just wanted to go completely in depth so there's no questions about it. And yeah, so there's just blankets in here and a sheet. But yeah, you could probably fit anything you want in there. And really high quality, and yeah, you could fit a lot in there. Yeah, I highly recommend this if you're looking for a good drop leg. You could fit a lot in there, like we went over size-wise. So, you got D-rings and all this, so yeah, that is the R.A.C.K leg attaching strap, which will be in the video thumbnail, will be the actual thing, so it's for ease of use and attach things. So what else was I gonna say? I don't think you can remove this. Yeah, no. Yeah, you can't remove this internal thing unless you cut it. Sometimes they have Velcro, but no, this is in here permanently, in case you're wondering. So if you do use this as a panner bag or something, you'd have to deal with that. The drain hole's nice and all that. So overall, really good buy, I think. For $50, you couldn't do no wrong with this. And I would think, theoretically, with how wide the straps is, like I was saying, you could maybe make this like a under the armpit, whatever, small backpack, whatever you want. And you can make this a sling bag if you want, for ammo or whatever. So yeah, overall really good buy. Practicality wise, I don't know when it would be wise to have something on your leg that jangles, that's not a drop leg where that's useful. So it's up to you if you need this or not, but, I think that if you need a drop leg, this is your best bet, quality-wise. I've seen cheap R.A.C.K ones, and, everyone thinks it's so cool that they've got, like, this part here that goes, like, up at, like, this fat angle. It's like just these stupid messenger bags, and they have all these little pockets, and they just look bad. Like, you know what I mean? They go like this. They look bad. So I think overall this is a very good purchase. Yeah. So there's that, and then like I said, when it comes to buying it, you want to make sure it comes with 2 leg straps, unless you plan to modify it, and this part. So there's that. And like I said, I didn't show you that part, but this is National Molding. It says Farmingdale, New York, Lock Monster, SS-2. That's what it says there, for in case you need to replicate this. And it's just plastic buckle. You can do that. And you could cut this off and modify whatever you want here. So you could make like a suspender thing. So if you have a Lock Monster too, and like I said, these are 2-inch piece webbing, so 2-inch buckles. You should be able to replicate that. Anyway, sorry for the long review again. If you want to see other videos relating to MOLLE pouches, I go over ideas on what you can put in them. I go over the measurements on a lot of them. I go over just reviews of them in general. I've got clothing reviews. I've got all this on my channel about clothing reviews, pouches, backpacks, knife reviews. The shears I showed you in the beginning, I've done a review on. So if you're looking for any of that and more, check out my channel. It's Wolf Outdoor Review. And if you want to send me an email regarding anything, that email is wolfoutdoorreview@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment. I've tried to respond to every comment in a timely manner, which was most likely be instantly, since I get notifications for that on my phone. But, if you have a comment, question, let me know, and I can double check if you're like, do you know what color, or, do you know what the measurement is on this strap? Assuming I didn't go over it, you could ask that, and I would go over that. On any of the videos I've done previously, unless I say so. I have sold some of the equipment I've done a review on, but for the most part I have everything. So yeah, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, leaving a comment, sharing, and checking out my other videos. And for those of you who are returning from other videos I've watched, thank you for sticking around. And if there's anything I can do better, feel free to email me or leave a comment, and I'll try to do that. Eventually I want to do editing on these videos. Normally I do one shoot takes, so I'll try to, as I progress with camera stuff, I'll try to upgrade it, so like, whatever. So, but yeah, I definitely recommend this. And yeah, anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.